Knock, knock, pink ponies, bitch!
Come on!
Hey guys, we're back with the podcast.
Hello!
Yo!
So, that is Nina, and that is Alex. Well, Nina is in the middle, in between me and Alex, and then Alex is on the left. And I still haven't figured out if that is a glass of beer, lemonade, or pee in your background, Nina.
Oh, this? Oh, this is my pee jar whenever I have to go to school and can't take a break. God, that's really stale Mountain Dew.
Nina!
That kind of tasted like pee.
Nina!
How would you know? How would you know?
Were you not
Oh,
a
dear
5-year-old
God.
once?
Oh my god.
Obviously not, because I have no idea what the taste of pee is.
I'm pretty sure none of us do. Apart from Nina, who apparently now drinks her own piss.
Funny little story. I had a friend, we'll call him Billy. But Billy came over to my house one summer and loved our big fat dog named Happy. And Happy ended up peeing on Dylan. He has been a blonde ever since. I'm not even joking. His hair used to be a dirty blonde, and now it is the brightest yellow blonde you have ever seen. And it's stuck like that for the past 5 years. I kid you not. Billy has the blondest hair.
The shame. The public shame.
Oh my god.
Oh, your hair looks nice. What have you done to it? Dog pissed on it. That's brilliant.
At least it wasn't highlighted.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what Happy... I don't know if Happy's made of magic, but if you want blonde hair and you don't mind the smell or the taste, then $5 and I'll let him pee on you.
Piss is bleach.
Yes. Oh, a reason for me not having a webcam this week and for us not doing the podcast for the past several weeks. I had, as you guys know from Fabulizing Left 4 Dead 2, hardware and, whatnot issues. The webcam's not working because the driver got corrupt, and I'm trying to figure out how to uninstall it and install it, and it's not letting me do the normal stuff. So I'm going to have that figured out within the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But we're going to continue on with our first topic, which was the Content ID system, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Which
Alright.
is bollocks. Nothing but bollocks, and always will be complete and utter bollocks.
So from what I understand, the Content ID system basically just searches the video for certain sounds or objects, doesn't it? Or what? How does it work? Does anybody know?
I was going to ask if anybody knew because I've not heard of the Content ID system yet.
I have a rough idea of what it is, and what I know is pretty much what Toby just said. That it scans the video for any music, and if it scans like something with a copyright license on it, then it like bans the video, which is pissing off lots of YouTubers, and which is also why there's lots of hate videos, because people are pissed off about it, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Well, I have an opinion on this.
Okay.
I can understand, say, I'm trying to think of somebody really popular. PewDiePie, because he's got a ton of viewers and he makes a shit ton of money off of all his videos. If he sits down and plays a chunk of a song in his video and then makes money off of that video, fair enough. You're making money off of something that somebody else made. Don't do that. Don't
It's
make
free
money
publicity
off of
for them as well.
Well, it's not publicity whenever
It is
somebody else is
playing
making
again.
money off of it. If he wasn't in YouTube partnership, I would agree with you. I think we should just shove it about YouTube copyright laws to everybody who isn't under the money-making part of YouTube.
See, there's certain legal aspects to this which make it fine for them to do such things. It's kind of like there's certain copyright laws. If you just upload a gameplay trailer, then I believe this is how it works. If you upload like a gameplay trailer or footage before a game is released, there's something called street date, and the company can take that video down and, you know, sue you for it, I believe.
Yeah, you're not supposed
I
to
may
put
be
that
wrong.
out there.
And if you, it's something about fair use. If you do something like that, except it's after the game is released and you put your voice over it, then you're 100% fine. It becomes intellectual property, I believe, and it can be, the difference can be told between the two. Obviously, somebody's voice is on one and there's no voice on the other. So one is copywritten and the other is just copyrighted material that has something added to it, enough added to it at that point, may I say, that it becomes a part of legal use. I forget the number of the papers, but it's like 156 or something like that. And then there's the fair use and, you know, whatever. But companies like iTunes, they could, or not iTunes, Apple, Apple can push out an update for iTunes and say, when you plug your iPod into this, you're gonna have to, you know, click a box and watch an ad. That's just a part of our terms of use. If you didn't read it, too bad, sucks for you. That's just part of our terms of use. If you don't like it, go buy an Android or something, because they don't do that. Which I own both. Not say I'm a fanboy of one or the other. I own both. I have an iPod 4 and a Moto X, and they're both great phones. Or not phones. They're both great devices, and neither of them do that. So,
If you're wanting to get into a console or a OS war, we can do that, but monologuing, my friend. Monologuing.
Android, it's a lot friendlier to the indie developer, I think, and iOS is just like, you have to pay us to put your stuff on our app store. You have to
And
follow
then
all these
charge people
guidelines.
money
Yeah.
for the app. When it should be free, because it's shite.
And speaking from experience, making an app for an Android phone is a hell of a lot easier than making it for an Apple phone. Because like Renply, to make visual novels, there's just one little plugin that you can put in and then do the exact same Python code, and it turns into an Android game. Can't do that on the iPhone yet. They haven't figured that out. They've had the Android version out for like a year and a half.
Steve Jobs not pressurizing Steve Wozniak.
Leave Steve alone! All he does is work for you.
I'm I'm loving the Android Jelly Bean software, because it's like, I went searching on the App Store today and I found a bleep button and a web browser that allows me to view Flash. So I can now play Flash games with my Bluetooth keyboard on my redneck laptop, which I'll take a picture or something and put that in at the end of the video or something like that. I don't have a Facebook, so I can't exactly link that. But
Macy, we're doing business. Oh,
She sounds better than you do. Let her take over the microphone.
But what do you guys think about this whole thing? What do you think it's going to do to the whole YouTube scene? I think
Fuck
the advertisers
everything
are
up.
going to hate it.
Fuck everything up.
I don't think it's really going to do anything. I think people are just gonna bitch about it a little, and then it's going to be so glitchy and so buggy that in about a year, either they're going to fix it so that it actually takes care of the copyright laws like we all have been knowing that we're not supposed to be breaking, or two, they just get rid of it because it won't work. Probably gonna be the second one, but
I think they ought to get
Yeah.
rid of it, because the people that it's impacting, it's just not working for them. Like, there's certain series that Woody's Gamertag will do, or Cryotic, or
Like,
just,
are you
a-
talking about games?
yeah, like gameplay people. Like, there's this one guy I like, he's called the Rad Brad, and he does playthroughs.
Legend.
Yes, legend. Over! um, but he does a lot of the playthroughs on YouTube now, or a lot of the only good playthroughs. He has a lot of good commentary. He does, you know, all sorts of great stuff with his videos. And, like, a bunch of his series got flagged for copyright. And what's scary is the algorithm says that the company did the copyright striking. And the companies are coming out and saying, hey, we didn't do this. We're not doing this. We like it. It's free advertising. The algorithm's doing it. So I don't think the companies even really like it. I think they need to hire a staff of people that will watch the video and, 2 or 3 people will review that content. And then if they find that content in the video to be copywritten and inappropriate for viewing on YouTube, then it should be submitted for flagging and removal. But just for right now, a little bit of music in a game will get it taken down. Also, if you dispute, it'll there's like a 4-click process to disputing an issue with the copyright system, and it says if you are fraudulently disputing, this may immediately terminate your channel without asking. We will just terminate your channel, and
I did know a girl who ended up getting her channel completely destroyed because of My Little Pony fandoms that she was making. And they just turned around one day after giving her a couple strikes and then went, bye. What do you mean I can't log into my YouTube account? Because you don't have a YouTube account anymore.
Yeah, they don't even send you an email about it. It's
just sudden deletion of.
Well, you also do get your strikes, so at that point, yeah.
Well, fair enough. If you've got if you get warnings and stuff, then fair enough. But if they just, for no reason, you've done one thing, kick.
They do not do that.
Is that?
I know my account is actually in jeopardy of it right now. No, that is not how they do it. I've gotten 2 strikes and I've not lost my account whatsoever. It's a 3 strikes you're out deal. If you fuck up 3 times, you're out.
Fair enough. That makes more sense.
And they do, from what I've had, because I tried to upload some videos so I could watch them with a friend under the don't list it, and they immediately flagged them because, oh, you're uploading an episode of an anime! You weren't supposed to be able to find it. But they didn't actually delete it from my account. They just made it so that nobody except for me could see it. And then they had a little flag and said, hey, you just got a mark on your account. What do you want to do with this video? I guess I'm just going to delete this video. Yeah, delete the video.
Yeah. I just don't. I think they ought to get rid of this. They ought to hire people instead of making an algorithm, because their past 4 algorithms haven't worked. Their past changes to YouTube haven't worked very well. The Google Plus thing doesn't work very well. They
figured out that the Google Plus thing doesn't work, and they're slowly trying to chip at it and make it better. They're trying. But Google's been having a lot of hard hits because the last update that came out with Google Chrome has memory chugging problems and sucks. The Google Plus social media site pretty much flopped.
It's nothing like social media.
We say this as we're at a Google Plus hangout call.
It's pitiful. Pitiful. It's useful, but pitiful.
Well, I think they should have. They should have just dropped the social networking part and kept Google Hangouts, because Google Hangouts everybody uses, but everybody grits their teeth when they try to log into it because you've got to go through Google Plus.
Yeah, Google Hangouts. The only reason we use it for the podcast is because
it actually
the video
does this.
It does this without having to pay for it.
So many other ones, even Skype, costs money to be able to do it like this.
Multi-web images,
along with games,
streaming.
effects, little shit. Watch YouTube together.
Little clappy sounds that make everything happy, like this. See what? That's fun.
That is actually pretty satisfying. All right.
Call and response.
Next topic. We done
Alrighty.
with bashing on the ID.
Poor YouTube.
I've-
Poor Google. Let's see.
Um,
Favorite family board game?
Alex.
That's
Me?
a tough one.
I love Monopoly, but nobody else seems to, and it annoys me because apart from chess, I will probably get Monopoly out first, and it annoys everybody because nobody likes it.
I just take the money out of the game and start throwing it at people.
But it just, yeah.
Well, actually, I suppose as long as you don't have so many house rules, it doesn't.
I was
take
gonna
that
say
long.
it doesn't take so long depending on how many players you have.
This is true too.
Yeah, they had a remastered version about 3 or 4 years ago that it was like a credit card system. Instead of having the paper money that would always get torn, lost, and like stolen by your children, you'd have credit cards. And those credit cards, you put a certain amount of points on them. And they were just like a real credit card, except it wasn't a real credit card. It had the magnetic strip that basically told it, all right, this is the credit card that it's under. Go to this slot and how much is in there. So it would display that amount, and then you could buy a place and it would take that much out. And it was just, it was cool. I liked the whole credit card thing.
That seems kind of cool. I remember the Uno that like shot cards at you.
Yeah, that was fun.
I played Uno with my brother once, and I got so confused when the cards started shooting at me. I kind of got scared, screamed, and ran off. I was like, I broke it! It's his fault.
I
'Cause
like
at
the machine. I think it's fun, but I just think it's dangerous because when I did it, it hit me in the face, and I wasn't satisfied.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready, and it hit me in the face.
that would be like me saying, yeah, I like guns, but I shot a steel plate and something came back and almost hit me in the face.
Even though
I
that did
s-
happen.
Yeah, I still like guns. Either I'm stupid or that was just like, hey, wake up, you're doing something stupid.
I don't know. It might be the first one.
Yeah. Speaking of guns, I actually put a camera system on the front of the gun so that next time I go shooting, if something flies back at me again, you guys will be able to see it. And,
That I am interested in.
I'll show you guys the camera system after.
That seems
It's not
fun.
you guys as subscribers, but
The
these
friends.
guys, the friends,
The fellow
the
YouTube.
guest and the other podcaster.
I'm kidding, viewers. You guys are special too. I love you. You're my friend.
All right, next topic. We done with this?
Oh crap! I never said mine. I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think my favorite board game is gonna be Life, because
Oh, the game of life. Brilliant.
I used to play that on PC because nobody else would have time to play it with me. My dad was at work. My mom would always be cleaning, cooking, doing whatever. And my brother would just be sucked into the computer or at school. Then there was my little sister who wouldn't understand and would just like go, yeah, I'm good. So I would play it on the computer, and it was awesome.
Did you have the one that had all the like really quirky animations where he's like the husband you just randomly pick up just like starts running to the car and jumps over the seat?
Oh, yeah. There's like that red convertible.
Mhm.
And at the
Baby.
beginning, I used to love watching the beginning animation because my brother, he had an office chair that would go up and down. And the car would go down a hill, so I would make the chair go down. And then he'd go up, so I'd get up and pull the chair up again. And then they'd go down another hill. And then I'd go down, and then they'd spin around, so I spun.
Wee.
Whee!
Um,
Whee! I'm driving. Whee!
I am a driver.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
my favorite childhood board game, or family board game, was Battleship. But
Oh my
I
God.
never got. I played it twice in my life on the actual board game, and then I just started taking the little red and white pegs and started flicking them at people, hitting them in the head with them.
You little ass.
I was as a child. I was. But just imagine, like, 6, 7, 8-year-old me going around just throwing handfuls of these pegs at people.
Yes. I can imagine you just walking up to the school teacher going, "Excuse me," boosh. I could just imagine that.
I was always nice to my school
Question
teachers.
about my homework.
Excuse me, teacher, I have a question for you. Do you like pegs?
Pegs, son.
Pegs!
Get pegged.
Get pegged, bitch!
Dad, I'm recording.
Thanks for giving me
Come
a
on!
C. I wanted a B, not a C. Yeah.
Was I the only kid that actually made straight A's in school?
Well, actually,
I haven't finished school yet, so please.
In public school, excuse me. I'm still in it.
I in first grade. This is just after kindergarten and preschool. Just like maybe a couple of months after I had finished those. We had started in first grade, and there was a whole reading program. There was a whole, math and everything. Really easy stuff. I got A's in everything except reading because the teacher couldn't get recordings of all the kids, so they couldn't grade me properly. So I got a B in reading, and I was like, I didn't get all A's. I wanted all A's for all of my school career. So that ruined my attitude and like my willingness to do school for the rest
Teenage
of my
angst.
life. So
Teenage angst.
now,
Pre-teenage angst.
so now
Pre-
I do
Oh.
I will do like almost any physical labor that you need done. I chop down fence posts. I went out in the woods with my dad and cut down trees and cut them up and chop them. Well, this is years ago that I used to chop them and stack them, but I went and got the trees with my dad this year and put them in the truck and got home, offloaded them, and then I'd go do something else. But
Life stories from Toby.
but
Brilliantly entertaining.
any schoolwork I will do as little as possible of, and if I get a D, that's fine. I don't care.
You bastard.
It's just that first
But
grade
what
experience
about
for
your
me.
future, Toby? Your future career?
Which leads me to the next question on the paper. What were your future career plans? I'm not even kidding. It's seriously
Do you
the next
need help?
question.
Future career plans? Is that seriously the next topic?
Seriously, the next question was future.
Is it actually? Wow.
I didn't plan this. I wrote down that topic, but I didn't plan for this to happen.
It's because I'm a beast.
I'm betting. I'm not going to check it right now because it'll pull up my entire Skype conversation with Nina.
Nigga, you want me to
But-
copy and paste it? I will
No.
show you.
I'm good. But I'd have to scroll through our entire conversation list. Is that
What you
SpongeBob?
made me do.
Hey. But I would, but I'm not going to. I would check and see how many Nina has skipped.
Motherfucker, here is my goddamn list. I posted it.
I'm not opening Skype.
Well, then I'll post it in Google Hangouts.
I'm not opening the chat.
I will screenshot it.
No!
Oh dear God, Nina, calm down. It's just a topic. SpongeBob is here to calm things down.
Is that a
Alright,
guitar pick?
Yeah, it is.
Nice. Which relates
Alright,
to another
so-
question we have.
yes. Nina, what are your future career plan things?
You know those little stores that's like Computer Pros where you take your computer and get them fixed and they're cheap?
Yep.
I want to like be the manager of one of those.
How the Oh my God.
When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a chemist, and then I actually took chemistry class in high school and went, no.
You wanted to go Breaking Bad style, just get the cheapest RV you could find,
Just make
go out in the desert and make meth.
I heard you just get a knock on your RV door. The next day, I heard you were making methamphetamine.
It's funny, I have no traditional
Oh,
chemistry background, but I can actually make a binary explosive that you
Oh
shoot.
dear God.
It's not like it's not like a bomb, but it's more like you shoot the target and it's just like, hey, you shot it, good job. Now here's a rewarding explosion. Yeah, it's not the type of thing you put under. It's not the type of thing you take into an airport and throw in the bathroom. It's funny because the guy did that with dry ice bombs.
Well, I guess you wouldn't really detect dry ice. Ah! There's something I noticed that really makes me mad about airport security.
They'll take your lotion
Is
and
it-
any bottled liquid that is like more than an ounce.
No.
Oh, okay.
I went through the airport. We got all the way through. I'm with my father. He reaches in his pocket and goes, "Oh, shit. They didn't take my lighter." Oh, well, that's okay. It's not like we have anything. At which point I turned my head, and they've got this whole wall of overpriced alcohols that you can buy. And I just sort of sat here and thought for a second, buy one of those, take off my sock, grab that lighter that they didn't seem to notice.
Recipe for disaster.
Nicely done, airport security. You got my lotion, but you didn't get the lighter. Gave me everything I needed to make a Molotov cocktail. There.
The funny thing about airplanes, I studied being a pilot for a while, and even a small plane like a Cessna, if you have a firefighter like fire extinguisher, you can't put out a plane fire unless it's a special sort of it's very difficult to put out a plane fire. Mainly because you have so much oxygen around you. But the planes
the
are made
air
of
is literally on fire.
yes. But
It's like someone set fire to the rain.
Adele! Adele! Why? You have cursed us all. Just they're sat there burning in the seats alive. Adele!
but
Their last words weren't "Mom." They were Adele. Why?
oh my
Oh
goodness.
my goodness.
Where was I? Oh yeah, plane
Probably-
fires. You could in War Thunder, you get your plane set on fire and you'll die within 30 seconds unless you're playing Russia. Because Russia's planes don't burn for some weird reason.
Soviet Russia,
Burn.
plane burns you.
Exactly, that's the funny part about it. Like,
We are professional Russians. We can withstand fire and airplanes. We just fall to the floor and we crash.
We can withstand airplanes. You just fly an airplane right into me, bro. It's cool. I'm Russian.
I'm Russian. Bring it on, baby.
By the way, we went from future career paths to setting planes on fire.
And hitting Russians with planes.
oh yeah, so Alex, what is your future career path?
Setting a plane on fire and then running it into a Russian.
Yeah.
But I want to own, like, not own, but be the manager, the go-to dude of one of those, like, bring your computer to us and let me fix it for you shops.
Kind of like the head man of Geek Squad.
Yeah! I want to work for Geek Squad. I said it.
Squad. Geek Squad.
It's funny because we're the Derp Squad. We don't come to your house and fix your computer. We come to your house, break through this.
No, we get your computer, we open it up, and then we just leave it there.
We start
don't
mining
fix it,
bitcoins.
We just leave it there.
We start mining bitcoins with your computers,
You son of a bitch!
or shoot them and watch the bullets bounce back at me.
Oh no, please don't.
Or light it on fire and throw it at a Russian.
I know my computer's not very good, but please, no. Please.
No, Alex, you're
I'm
safe.
precious.
You're safe. You're safe. You're part of the Derp Squad. You're.
I'm the
So
only
s-
guest here. I'm not technically part. I'm the one who should be worried.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a Windows 8 computer.
Light it on fire. Burn it. Burn it.
Just flip the bear off the bed. Okay, Alex, what is your future career path?
I don't know.
You wanna
But-
be where you grow up.
Get to
You know,
America
I
and then
used to
just.
want to be an astronaut. I generally used to want to be an astronaut. But I got into computers, and I'm just like, hey, maybe I should do this, because, you know, I'm kind of good with these, so I'm going to work with computers. And I just thought to myself, hey, I'll just get a job with computers, but I never really thought what.
You know, you could get a job with computers at NASA, and then you could fulfill your dream of being an astronaut, and you can have everything you wanted in life ever.
Oh dear God! Ah! Or I could just, with my passionate love for music, I could just sit here on my computer and make space mixes to listen to when you're spaced out on weed.
Space
Space
step.
cake.
Space! Space! Skip
Hey.
space.
I used to want to be a fighter pilot.
Until
But
you
then-
hit that Russian.
Until what?
Until
You
you
hit
hit
the
that Russian.
No, I took
You
an
hit
arrow
the
to the
Russian.
knee.
Oh,
But
that joke's old. It's not
You
funny.
son of a bitch!
Say it again!
Say it one more goddamn time!
Say it again, please. I'm gonna chill out.
I went to the
I
eye
almost pulled my
doctor.
webcam apart.
I went to the eye doctor and he told me you gotta have glasses. That dream was over quicker than I don't know. It was
Quicker than the Russian's death after he got hit by the plane.
No,
I thought
because
we
he can
decided that
withstand
Russians
the
don't
planes.
die when they get hit by planes.
Well, have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Does this?
Because I
does
seem
this
to
mean-
recall there being a big fucking giant Russian being hit by a propeller, being torn to bits and that.
No, that was the propeller. That's not a plane. That's a part of the plane. Saying if you're plane, it's fine.
No. If you fly a World War II plane, which is what we're talking about, or what we were talking about, into a bloody Russian head first, pretty sure the propeller's gonna do something to it.
Head first, the
Listen,
cockpit's
if it's
gonna
a
hit him.
big plane,
The cockpit's
Russian's
gonna
just
hit
gonna
him.
reach up and be like, "Oh, that was cute."
They're gonna hold a bullet.
Just the smouldering wreckage of a plane, and the Russian's just like, that is cute.
That is cute.
I need to
That
figure
is
out.
cute.
I need to figure out where FPS
Photo of it,
Russia
Put
is.
it on my Christmas card.
I need to figure out where FPS Russia lives, and then just just start flying a plane around his house, and then he'll come outside with a golden desert eagle, and then just blind me, and I'm gonna lose focus and like smack into him, and then he's gonna just start shooting the desert eagle in the air while the burning wreckage is just piled around him. The burning wreckage of a Cessna.
Oh god, I can imagine that now.
Dad, do you think Russians are plane resistant?
I don't
Yes!
know why laughing.
I can
Because
also
we have
imagine
decided
you just,
that Russians, if you rammed a plane from World War II headfirst into a Russian, it's not going to do anything. What do you think?
I don't know why we're doing this.
I don't know why we're doing
I
that.
can also imagine Toby flying like some big ass bomber just into FPS Russia's house, and everything else is just gone. And FPS
I broke
Russia
the
just
webcam.
walks out of the rubble, just like, yeah.
Drivers.
What was that?
You know, recording.
Can you imagine me driving an H6K4? The
Oh,
gigantic. It's okay, Alex. Or not. Yeah, Alex. You remember when we used to fly in War Thunder a lot? I would take a giant H6K, dive down, and then level off, and then people would just start shooting at me, and you and Lewis would just pick them off of me. Now imagine,
Well,
Nina.
it was mainly
hey-
Lewis, because I sucked so much balls at that game that I'd try
Nina
and
dig
nosedive and then
planes.
not pull up and then die.
You know, you may not dig it.
Because I sucked balls at that game.
Well, we somehow ended up on the subject, just you know.
Yeah.
But
Killing Russians. They're
Nina, imagine the giant yacht from Black Ops 2. You know that yacht?
Shit gamer?
Kamikaze!
Imagine that with a football field attached to either side with 4 engines in the middle of it, and then a tail the size of Manhattan on the back of it.
Oh,
That is the H6K4, and it flies at 300 miles an hour in a straight dive.
That's massively out of proportion.
That's what it
I
looks
like how he
like.
tried to use Black Ops 2 in comparison to something that Nina would understand.
I,
All right, what's the next topic?
First, man. You know, I've just got one thing to say, and if my mouse will work, which it is, something about Steam. The Steam box is now off the shelves going to beta testing. Just thought I'd let you know.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Aren't they doing something where you can open up the Steam box and it's like you can pop in and out like a graphics card? It just slides in, you lock it in, and you're ready to go.
I don't know, but I could read you what it says here if you want.
Well, we could post a link to that because that's gonna take way too long.
Oh, this is on the Steam client. It's just like 3 short paragraphs long.
All right, go ahead.
The prototype Steam machines and Steam controllers have officially left the factory and are on their way to beta testers. Also, Steam OS is available for intrepid Linux hackers to try out. So they're giving the Steam OS to hackers. At this point, the OS itself is not yet a finished product for a non-technical user, but if you're interested, you can read more about it at link. Thanks in advance for the 300 Steam users who are going to spend their time helping us shape the future of Steam in the living room. We will be posting updates about the experiences that users are having once the Steam hardware devices arrive at homes.
Cool.
So, from what I've heard about the Steam box, it's gonna be sort of like the N64 when you could put that little expander in there, the memory expander. It's gonna be something like that. You just pop the side off, which on the N64 you just slid something in. But you're gonna be able to pop the side off, pop your old graphics card out, and then you're gonna be able to put the new one in and upgrade it. From what I understand, I'm not 100% sure on this, but that's what I've heard about that. So, what's our next topic?
I'm pull it up. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Crap! Come on, computer. What is the weirdest dream you had?
Alex?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay, then what's the second weirdest dream you had?
I bet it had to do with someone whose name rhymes with Schmo and something that rhymes with Slickersnar.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, Snickers bar and
Oh, no. You don't want to know. You don't
You
want to know.
You really don't want to know, Nina.
oh, yeah.
Unless you want me to tell you. If you want me to tell you, I can.
I'm
this
going
is
to have to
the-
censor some of the words here, so there's going to be some editing involved.
Would you like to know?
I'm definitely interested in this now. Why are you willing to censor stuff now? We've been.
This is just awful. Is this the turkey story, or is this
Oh
a different
no! It's not the turkey story. That's story time. That's for a different time. I still haven't thought of another story, so I might just have to run with it. So anyway, there's this guy in my school.
called
My
Snow?
friends, for the sake of not revealing his name, I will call him Snow.
No, just keep saying his name, and I'll download a censor, and I'll put it on all the parts where you say his name. That way
I'm
it
going
sounds
to
like
call
a
him
curse word.
Snow, and Snow has a weird obsession to Snickers bar. So all my friends take the piss out of Snow, and because he's fat, Snow is fat, and Snow really likes Snickers bars. So what we thought was, my friend thought about Snow, and he said that Snow went into a shop and he bought that really weird stuff, whatever it is, inside of Mars bars, the marzipan stuff or whatever it is in the middle, underneath the caramel. He buys a load of that, and then he buys Snow buys a shed load of caramel.
A shed load.
A shed load.
But how much is that?
A shed load. It's
So-
literally a shed load.
Do you mean like an American shed, which is the size of one of your guys' house? Or do you mean like a shed load as in just a very large amount?
Just a very large amount. So, Snow took his caramel to Snow's house. And Snow undressed in his house, and he found a packet of peanuts lying on the floor. And then he
Packet
thought,
of peanuts.
yes, peanuts, because, peanuts.
Now I'm actually learning as we're
Shush.
going on, so
Shush.
that's why I'm asking
Oh,
questions.
shh. You're ruining the story. So Schno, he thinks to himself, I love Snickers bars. So he goes to his room, and he gets extremely bored, but Schno gets so bored that Schno has no idea what Schno wants to do. So Schno, he undresses everything, strips completely down to the nude. This is my friend's story, by the way. He strips nude, and then he looks at this weird filling, and he says, all my life, I've wanted to be something nice. So I'm going to be a Snickers bar. So he opens it, and Schno starts smothering himself in this candy stuff, this filling. And it's just, for some reason, he's got the Indian radio on. And it's playing some really weird ass song. It goes a little something like na 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 na. It goes a little something like that. And whilst that song's playing, and he's now smothered in this weird filling, he looks down at his caramel, of which he has bought a very large amount. So Schno, he grabs this caramel and he opens the lid, and then it's like he had a shower
Slathers
of
himself.
caramel. No. He looks in the mirror and goes, sexy. And then he goes into the shower. He gets in the shower and he goes to the boiler, replaces all the water in the boiler for caramel. So now when he gets in the shower, he's just showering in caramel. Literally, showering in caramel.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wait,
That
the
is
nuts come up
nuts.
soon, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because once he's finished, or once Schno has finished showering Schno's body in caramel, Schno decides to have a bath, so Schno goes downstairs to get the peanuts. Luckily his mother doesn't see him, because that'd just be weird, seeing her son covered in like weird filling and caramel. He grabs the bags and bags of peanuts. He goes upstairs, goes back upstairs, back to Schno's bathroom where Schno decides to have a bath. But instead of having water or running the tap, because he knows if he runs the tap, he'll have a caramel bath, and he's already had a caramel shower, so he doesn't want a caramel bath. So Schno decides to have a peanut bath. So he opens one by one these bags and bags of peanuts. He starts pouring them into this bath, and it becomes a bath of peanuts. And he gets in, and he gets covered like in big jumbo peanuts. Essentially, it's a Snickers bar without the chocolate. So, and because Schno is so fat that he loves chocolate so much, he has an American shed load of chocolate, which is like the size of a house, according to Toby.
well, let me clarify. I've seen sheds the size of houses,
You've seen
and
sheds the size of houses.
my shed in the backyard is about the size of a small cabin. So,
So Schno has a shed load of these chocolates. Really nice Swiss chocolate that, shouldn't be wasted. Unfortunately, Schno is now really kinky because he's half a Snickers bar. And he melts this chocolate in the kitchen. I'd say something about turkey, but that's a different story.
now the turkey I would have to censor. And then he censor, and then he censor, and then he censor. And then
Anyway,
censor.
So Schno melts all the chocolate, and then his mother does walk in. He walks in on him, and she asks him, Schno, what the fuck are you doing? And Chanel replies with, "I want to be a Snickers bar." So, feeling proud, yet slightly weirded out by her son, his mother starts pouring chocolate on it. And essentially, it dries up and it becomes this really hard outer coating layer of chocolate that's really, really thick. And essentially, in the end, he ended up a human Snickers bar. That's why that story is is hated by a lot of people, including Toby hates it.
No. I
That is
just
not only the most unbelievable story I've ever heard, that is also the
It's
most
not real.
ridiculous story.
It's not real. It's not real. It's a made up story.
You don't
It's just-
say!
No, obviously.
How do you
Seriously.
replace the... You lost me at the boiler.
Did I lose you at the boiler?
You lost me at
Yeah,
the
never
boiler.
no, that's
It's
funny.
like, that wouldn't work.
Never mind.
No, that might if you had a bit of compressed air.
No! It wouldn't! That's not how boilers work!
Are we gonna argue about a story, really? Please? No.
Alright. I think
It's
we
a
need a new
stupid
topic.
story about
And
how
you
a fat
decided.
kid becomes. It's a stupid story about how a fat kid becomes a Snickers bar.
See, if
Come
you'd told me he rolled
on.
around in the
Argue.
caramel, I'd have totally believed it. It's the boiler that I'm like, no way, that didn't happen.
Whatever. It's a story that I improvised because I can't remember it. I
So
don't tell
You
stories.
did that very well. I didn't think you were improvising it, though. You were making it up.
No,
I
you
figured
should have heard the turkey story.
You don't. I'm not telling the turkey story.
Yeah,
Not on the
that's one I'd have
podcast.
to that's one I'd have to censor.
How long has this podcast been going? Like, what's our
A
time?
while. I didn't keep track. We usually just like keep going until we run out of topics and then just like you know.
Okay.
What's the next topic after career paths?
How
somehow we
the
got off.
weirdest dream you ever had?
Okay. Oh yeah, weirdest dream
Oh.
I ever had.
That wasn't my weird dream. That was just a story.
Just to clarify one more time, it was a story. It was
It
a
was a
story.
story, not a dream.
I'm gonna have to put at the beginning, warning, some content may contain stories that are made up. These were not dreams, these were not real acts. Do not try this at home. Boiling caramel does not make for a good shower.
No!
I have to say the weirdest dream I had was from years ago, when I don't know why, but I had a dream I was playing out with my mates on the street, and then for some reason weird holes started appearing in my skin and moths started crawling out. And it was so fucking freaky. And then my skin came off, and moths just started like flying out of my skin, and then like my bone fell. My arm fell off, and then I was like, what? And then I woke up because I shot myself.
It's just a flesh wound.
You call an arm falling off with like moths flying out of it a flesh wound? Hard man.
Jesus Christ.
Hard man.
um.
Hard man.
All right, Nina.
Weirdest dream I ever had. I don't remember the dream, but I remember like bits and pieces of it. It was very not story-ish. I remember that I was on a mission to like save my friends, and they were all becoming things that they weren't. They were like getting weird and warped.
Oh, so they were like becoming alternate versions of themselves. All right.
Yeah. Like the one that I remember was Bryce, my boyfriend. His big huge thing is that he loves music. And I walked up
I
to
thought
him
you were
like,
gonna end it. I thought you were gonna end it. Not. I thought you weren't gonna say is music.
is music.
Whoa. That just got inappropriate.
No. But I walked up to him in this dream and I'm like,
No.
oh, and oh, blah 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 blah, and I can't remember how it ended up working out, but I found out that he loathed music, and I'm like, that's not right. So I had to go and get something that would remind him of what he really was, and I ended up getting him his bass guitar, and it fixed it. And so I had to start going around doing that to all of my friends. And then to get something to fix my friend Donovan, I had to go to this house where everybody's head was giant babies, and they were like, it was like fucking Metal Gear Solid. I hid under a lamp, and like I'm holding this lamp, crouching through their house while they're all talking, and I'm like walking through a crowd of them as a lamp. But because I'm the lamp and that I'm crowding, they can't see me. And oh my gosh. And then it ended there.
Weirdest dream I ever had. I remember 5 seconds of it. I danced around a light pole like it was a stripper pole, flung myself into the air, and started just flying like a C-130. Just in a circle around that, farting rainbows that hit the ground and exploded. I'm not even kidding.
Oh god.
I remember you know those classic light poles that are in London? Like, you know those? Danced around one of them just randomly at the top of a mountain in a clearing. I get into the air and I'm just flying around in a circle like a giant C-130, just farting rainbows that hit the ground and explode. I have no idea why.
Oh god.
Next topic.
I don't know what this question implies, but word for word, it's oddest thing you thought as a kid.
All right, so here I'll demonstrate with the oddest thing I thought as a child. I thought that since the wheels on the I can't explain that to this day. I thought that black and white television meant everybody saw in black and white until they eventually evolved to have color in their vision. But my sister surprisingly thought that as well.
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard!
I also thought that sound was just like something that, if you guys don't know, our subscribers, I used to be a hardcore Christian. I'm now an apatheist. I don't, believe in that stuff. But I used to think that Jesus was just like, yeah, now you can hear each other mystically. And then I found out in school that it was like sound, reverberation, vibrating stuff. So I was like, blasphemy. But I didn't know what blasphemy was at the time. So I was kind of disappointed. I also didn't know that bacon came from pigs.
You blasphemous what?
I can just imagine me standing up as the little turd that I was in elementary school, just jumping on the desk and going, "Teacher!"
You blasphemous twat!
No, this is the South. If I had said that to a woman, which all the teachers were women, if I had said that to a woman, the only male in the school, or almost the only male in the school besides the coach, would have come in and paddled me. But, Alex, what's the oddest thing you've thought?
Oh. I'm just trying to think. I have absolutely no idea because my memory is so freaking terrible.
Alright, so while you're thinking... Oh my goodness, I hope you guys didn't hear that. Nina, oddest thing you thought ever.
When I was a little kid, like, when you would light a candle or no, a better example would be light a match. And then It's got that burst of the smell of lit match. But then when the smell fades, it goes away and it's not that smell anymore. I used to think as a kid that smell was particles. And so that if I smelled everything really, really fast, I would steal the smell from everybody else and no one else would say it. So I would run around in circles and just be like... just so that nobody else could smell anything.
I used to have a mental image that because I imagine it is so. So I would think, all right, there's an invisible wall. I'm sitting in the middle seat in the back. You know, that middle seat in the back bench seat area in most like Suburbans and minivans. That. I'm in the middle seat. I kept thinking I would get really bored on road trips. So I'd think, because I imagine there's a force field in the middle of the car, I can take air from this side and put it on this side. So I would try it. And I tried it for an hour and a half until I got lightheaded.
That's adorable.
It's about the same logic as the smell thing.
I will smell all of this candle. You get no candle.
Oh yeah, this isn't like something I thought as a kid, but while Alex is thinking of his thing, I used to think that if I stuck something in the Christmas tree, Santa would take it and trade me for something better. So we had 2 dogs. We had 2 dogs, and
Did you tie up a dog and shove it in the tree?
no, those 2 dogs for some reason got together and made 4 dogs. Still don't know how it happened to this day, but we walked outside on the front porch and we walked back in, and on our leather sofa there's still the stains to this day. 2 leather sofa stains, just on 2 separate cushions. There were 2 baby puppies, and she had birthed one while we were outside on the front porch and had licked it clean and made a mess of the sofa. Mom cleaned it up, and my parents went back outside on the porch again. And I watched the dog and eventually got bored after about 20 minutes and went out front with my parents. We come back in literally like 2-3 minutes later, and there's another baby puppy, and we're like, hey, are you done now? Are you done staining our sofa? So then we had 2 puppies. About 6 weeks later, it was Christmas. So I stuck one of the puppies in the Christmas tree thinking, all right, I'll get something that doesn't poop and eat all my toys. So I tried trading it for like for one of those Power Wheels. I got one anyway, but it didn't get rid of the dog.
Santa was like, here, you can have both. I don't want it! I'm sure there's some kid who asked for a puppy here!
So Alex, what did you think as a kid?
Lots of very weird things.
Just name one. One of the lesser embarrassing things.
I honestly don't know. It's been so long.
Alright, should we move on to the next topic then, or do you want to...
I'll probably interrupt you with one at some point once I think of one.
Okay. Again, this question is really weird, so I'm going to read it word for word. Toby typed this one. What's a thing you could eat or set on fire?
Yes, so you have the option to eat this thing, or... Now, it has to do both of these. You can set it on fire or eat it. It is edible, and you can set it on fire. Everybody try and think of something you could eat or set on fire. One of them is sugar. It will actually carry a flame. I've tested this.
Whiskey pudding.
Never heard of that, but that sounds
my
good.
gosh. It's a bread pudding sort of deal that's made with like whiskey or rum, and then you can light it on the table, and I think the term is flambe, and then you can just pour more whiskey on it as a lot of fire and whiskey and good. And since you let it on fire, it burns off all the alcohol.
Okay.
Banana Foster. That's another dessert that you can light on fire because it has, I think, liqueur in it.
So, I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you have a license, moonshine is legal in some states. You can make up to 2 gallons a year if you're a farmer, which is pretty cool. But there was this guy, he was selling some at the Apple Festival in Knoxville or something. And I forget where the Apple Festival is, but the only reason I went was I wanted apple cider and only one person sold actual apple cider. The rest of it was just powdered, put it in water and it's instant apple cider. So I bought like 2 gallons of it. And
Were you pissed?
what?
Did you
Oh
get
my
pissed?
god, you didn't actually buy apple cider, did you?
No, I bought apple cider.
Oh, I thought you bought
But the moonshine thing, we were walking by this stand that sold moonshine cakes. So they were like a rum cake, except in a bar, like a literal gold bar shaped thing, and it was made with moonshine instead of rum. And they had like apple pie, cherry, also blueberry, chocolate, all sorts of different flavors. So my dad buys a couple, and we get home, and it tastes like somebody put a Sharpie inside of a rum cake, but it was pretty good. Like the
It doesn't
smell of a
sound too
Sharpie,
good,
that
though.
sort of a taste, except less strong. And
Like something sort of good.
it was good, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. That's the best way I can describe it. It didn't taste like I was swallowing a lava lamp, so
Well, that's good. Let's see. Next topic? Or are we ready for... No, wait, we still got Alex's.
What?
You
The
didn't...
food?
Something you can eat and or set on fire.
I was gonna say pizza, but
Fuck
Not
it,
really
we burn
set
pizza
on
in this
fire.
house. We do that.
set fire to pizza. Say yeah.
well, if Adele can set fire to the rain, you can set fire to pizza.
And if Russians can set fire to airplanes in the air, we're set.
Yeah. All right, next topic. I think we're
Alright.
good to go.
Actually, I like this next topic.
Okay.
It's questions for Nina about voice acting.
All right. So, why do you voice act?
Because I have a deep and like epic answer, and then I have the truth. What do you prefer?
Both.
Alex, you decide.
Both.
Both? Well, my deep answer is because it is my passion. I adore acting, and I really like. I'm not as good physical shape as I used to be, and so being able to act through my voice makes things a lot easier. And I can still like fulfill my passion without actually having to get up and do anything.
Fair enough. That's fair enough to me.
And my real answer is I am just a little too lazy to actually go outside and go volunteer at the community theater, so I do it online.
And then you get paid money
Yay!
sometimes.
Because who needs to
Well,
do
the internet's
anything
fine.
outside?
Now the funny thing is, I was talking to my parents the other day, or no, my mother and my sister, and I was talking about starting to try and get into shape and stuff, and trying to cut out on eating so much and eating the wrong things, and start working out and stuff. And my sister said, "Well, we did that job for our grandmother. You've probably got a lot of muscle under the little fat that you do have. I think I'm really fat, but she seems to think I'm in pretty good shape."
You are in
Um,
pretty good shape. I've seen you in real life.
Thing is, I got man boobs. I don't like it. It doesn't look like it.
Pecs, you dork.
No, it's like the fat that.
Yeah, but nobody likes having man boobs, Toby.
eh,
Nobody does.
Even if they're pecs, I don't want man boobs. I'm good with some light abage. That's about it. But she said you've probably got a lot of muscle under there. It's just that little layer of fat that looks awful. So you just need to look up an exercise that burns fat, or just reduce your calories enough. That way you burn more calories than you take in, and then eventually you'll be able to get on a steady diet and do all that stuff. Which I didn't help. I actually started the whole thing, and I drank 355 milliliters of cheer wine and ate a bunch of pizza today. So that ruined that part of it. So I'm gonna start eating like celery and eggs. Eggs are low on calories if you don't have the yellow part in there.
Yuck.
I.e. the best part.
Yeah, that really gives a lot of flavor to it. Which I'm probably still gonna eat the yolk, but I'm just gonna cut down on my meats and cheeses a lot.
Try for a low-fat diet, but don't go for a no-fat diet.
Yeah, no fat is bad. Low fat, good.
Get all the essential stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you need fat, but you just don't watch how much fat you eat, I guess.
Did you know that it takes like 390 calories a day for you to exist?
Are you saying if I ate like nothing every day, my body would just go?
Yeah, that's called starving to death.
Yeah, it just takes 390 calories if you do nothing. If you just lay there like a vegetable on a bed, then you can survive on
Nobody's gonna
390
do.
calories.
No, anybody's just gonna sit there doing nothing.
Well, if you're that lazy you don't work out, then you can lay there in a bed and, just like a vegetable.
I can smell you.
You also can burn 26 calories a day just by typing. If you're an
Okay.
office worker.
I get my exercise. Boom.
What was the original topic we were talking about?
Questions for Nina about voice acting.
All right, so I think are you wanting to ask anything, Alex?
What is it you enjoy so much about voice acting? In a good way, not in a bad way at all.
I enjoy getting to meet a lot of new people, and I enjoy getting paid.
Getting paid is fun.
Getting paid is fun, but getting to like be involved in stories is a lot of fun too.
Yeah. If I were a little better at reading, I would definitely do like audiobooks because people tell me I have a radio voice.
You sound like a guy who works for NPR.
Yeah.
Like you sound like you should be working for NPR.
I don't know if I could with the path that I'm headed on. Just straight D's and doing the least amount of schoolwork that I can. But I will do physical labor. I would
You sound like
actually.
you grew up in the South or something. What's that about? It's like you live in Tennessee.
Because that doesn't make sense, Toby.
A lot of people I know would rather actually do their schoolwork rather than go to work. But I would rather go to work. Like that, it takes longer every day, but it interests me. It's something that keeps my attention. Schoolwork, I
The only
used
thing
to
that
have
keeps
to.
me attention about work is just money.
I used to watch, or I used to have to watch videos about math. I would get so bored in those videos, I would actually fall asleep and sleep for about an hour and a half before my mother came back in to check on the video. And she would find me just sleeping there, and she would hit me in the head and go, "Why are you sleeping?" And I would respond with, "Eh?" And then sort of fall back asleep a little bit.
Yeah. You lazy bastard.
It wasn't laziness, it was just that the work didn't keep my attention. If I had a Rubik's Cube there, I would have been like, alright, I'll listen to the math video. I'm not going to look up at the screen, but I'm going to listen to the math video and do this Rubik's Cube. That'll hold my attention for about 20 minutes. Until I got to go, like, pee or something.
I think after we finish asking the other two of you questions, I need to get off of here.
Alright.
Alex, say something about music.
What
Talk
do
to us
you
about
like?
music for a minute.
What do you like about music?
What do I like about music?
Yes.
Recently, after let's say how many hours ago was it? Nearly 6 hours ago, I was shit scared about performing in front of a group of people. Then I got up there and I was like, sweet, this is actually kind of cool. This is fun. So in general, I'm saying the more you play music in front of people, just for the people who want to, or the people who like to. I
So you
guess
just got done with a
I'm just-
performance?
Yeah, I played in a concert earlier today.
Awesome.
I guess if you're going to do something in front of a crowd of people, my advice would just be carry on. It'll get better throughout your playing.
That never worked for Christmas plays.
Yeah, but you're like a little kid. You just stand there for an hour and piss in your pants.
No, I was 12 when they made me do Christmas plays. I was always a very tall. I was like 2/3 or a third taller than the rest of my peers. So they always made me be a wise man, even though I wasn't old enough to really be a wise man in the Christmas play. I was a wise man. Didn't matter what I said. Didn't matter if I didn't want to do it. I did it, and it sucked. But
They just throw a towel over your head and say, "You are wise now."
nah, they would put a specially made like robe that was made to look like a wise man's robe. They would hand me a box of these chocolate coins that I would be told not to eat. In hindsight, if I'd known they were chocolate, I would have eaten them. But I was always confused why they told me not to eat them. I'm kidding. They didn't hand me a thing of chocolate coins. That's a Duck Dynasty reference. But they would always hand me like a fancy glass bottle of some liquid, and I think, all right, I'm gonna break this. This is just like, I'm not gonna break it on purpose. I'm not that mean, but still, I'm gonna break this. Just like that window from the last podcast. So Alex, what do you get into the audio aspect of music a lot? Like, well, that's mostly what it is, but do you get into the audio hardware a lot? Do you pay attention to what cables you're using, what brands you're using, what amp, or whatever you use a lot?
Because my family is hard on money, I try and like aspire to save up and get like specific brands for like, I don't know, amps. I've been offered an amp by my friend who I go to play guitar with on a Saturday, which is why I'm never here on a Saturday morning. I'd like to pay attention to them, but the thing is, I'm never really going until I get a job and save up and like get a house and all that shit, that grown-up shit. Then I'm probably not going to be able to afford them. So I like to pay attention to them, but to actually have them is just in a dream for me.
Well, when you get over here, we've got like...
Software-wise, just to continue on with your question, software-wise, I don't really pay attention to. The last audio program I used was Audacity.
Hey, it's a good program.
Yeah, it's a really nice program.
It's good, but I used it for schoolwork, so...
It's what I use for my voice acting.
That's what I used when I tried to do, when I tried to record a story for the channel. I was getting around to editing it, and then there was that operating system issue, so I never got around to it because it kind of got deleted in the great operating system disaster of 13, as my sister calls it. Speaking of which, it's 12/13/13, which is hilarious.
Yay! Can't wait till next month when it's gonna be 13/13/13.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I hate to burst your bubble. It's not gonna happen, Nina.
It's okay, we can invent a month.
We'll call it Derpuary.
Yes. Derpuary.
Alright guys, I gotta get off.
But we didn't do the asking me question.
Well, Alex, why don't you continue the ask? I'll send the rest of the topics into the chat, and just your guest has to pop off.
Alright.
So, bye, Nina.
Bye, guys. This
Bye.
was wonderful. Here are the topics.
It was wonderful meeting you again.
Yes. Hopefully I can come on again another time.
Yeah,
Bye,
maybe
viewers.
next week.
Bye.
Alright. What questions do you have for me?
No. Questions for Toby about something. What's it like on a shooting range? How does it feel for you to hold a gun?
It depends what gun you hold, because some guns you feel cooler, and
How about your classic Mosin gun?
The Mosin, the first time I shot it, I was scared. I was really, really scared because it's. This is gonna sound weird.
Cancel.
Screw off. So the first time I went shooting, it was with my friend and my friend's dad in the middle of winter, freezing cold, and I had shot a .38 revolver and a .45 caliber handgun. I forget what it was called. The model was XD. I forget the company.
A revolver.
It was a .38 revolver and a .45 semi-automatic handgun.
I really want to ask if it's Smith and Wesson, but it might not be. I'm not even sure.
I
if
don't
that's-
remember the brand. But the Mosin, the first time I fired it, it was like somebody had hit me in the chest with a baseball bat, and then I just wanted to shoot it again. So I threw the next bullet in and shot it again, and then I threw the next bullet in and shot it again. I didn't load the bullets into the magazine because I was scared that if the bullet blew up, it'd blow up all the other bullets. So then after 2 or 3 magazines worth of loading them individually, I started loading them into the internal magazine and used them that way. And I actually got good groups the first time I had shot. And then I shot my dad's 9mm pistol. My mother's... Actually, I've never fired my mom's pistol. And then there was my sister's .22 caliber handgun. I shot a 10-round magazine out of that, and that was great. But 22s, you don't feel as cool firing those. 9mm handguns...
Because it's smaller, isn't it?
Yeah. If you, not to take away from the 22, the 22 is an awesome caliber. It's available. You can buy it, you know, in thousands of rounds at a time. 9mm, you feel cool because the handgun looks cool in most cases. And the Mosin, you feel cool because it feels like somebody's punching you in the chest or smacking you in the chest with a baseball bat or something every time you fire it. And then if you stand back behind the dude that's shooting it, the shockwave hits you in the chest, and it feels like somebody's beating a drum next to you. So it's pretty cool. But
It sounds cool. I want to shoot one without being hurt.
Yes.
Checked out is very nice.
yes. But I think that's all this is the first time we actually ran out of time before we got to get through all the topics, because I don't think...
There's like two or three left. I think it's 2 actually. Animals you've eaten and animals you ate as a kid and were sad when you figured it out.
Let's do that latter one, because the first one and the second one are kind of the same, it's just the second one's a little better worded. So what was an animal that you had eaten as a kid and then were like, oh, wait a minute, that was a little duck? That was like a little chicken?
True, that I did do a duck before, because I had a Chinese and I had absolutely no idea what it was, and it turned out to be duck. And I'm just like, wow, that's duck. Considering I go to the pond and feed them every day, that's depressing. So yeah, when I was little, I ate a duck from a Chinese restaurant.
I had been eating, like, my dad used to cook eggs every morning. Or not every morning, but, like, you know, every once in a while. And as a little kid, I didn't think about it, but eventually I put 2 and 2 together and was like, wait a minute, I just ate what was soon to be a baby chick, and then my mother explained it to me. It's in a carton. They get chilled. The chick's not gonna come out of that egg. It's fine. Chick's not coming. Yeah. No.
I thought eggs that we eat and eggs that they like lay as for children, I thought they were different.
No, they're the same thing, except the male will fertilize one. Like, let's say we've got one in a Tupperware jar next to the one that the male fertilizes. The one that the male fertilizes will come out, and the other ones will just rot without the fertilization from the male. So it's sort of like
Mullet.
fish. If a salmon's swimming up a river and he doesn't spray some eggs with his fertilizing liquids, then they're not going to hatch. They're just like fleshy marbles just sitting in there. That's all they're going to be. That's all they're ever going to be until they rot or float away or get eaten.
Fleshy marbles.
Yes, fleshy marbles.
That's a great thing to say. Fleshy marbles.
I used to go to fishing. I wouldn't call them tournaments, but they were like you went and you fished, and it was like $5, and you got in. You fished for half an hour. It was at a swimming pool. You would fish in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and well, it had the lanes and everything, and it was a pretty big pool. Sorry, I'm having an argument. It was big. It was pretty big. It was the size of a couple of RVs. But I went fishing and I caught a fish, and they let me gut my fish. So I took the head off, I cut it open, pulled all the guts out, and then they gave me the eggs, and they're like, "We don't know what you're gonna do with these, but here, try that caviar crap or whatever." So I went outside with a tub, like a storage tub, filled it with water, and it was the dead of winter, very snowy and cold outside. And I threw the eggs in there, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to have a bunch of little fishies. They never hatched. The water just froze, the eggs popped, and then I dumped the water out a week later, and it smelled like death. I thought I was going to have some pet fish. But
That just makes me feel sad.
yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
That poor young Toby expecting little fishies and then being slapped in the face by the harsh
By Mother Nature.
by Mother Nature, just like bitch slap, bitch. You ain't get no fish, no fish at all. I'm gonna fish slap you.
All right, well, we successfully ran out of topics.
I'm going to go on this just because I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. What is this? Warlight.
Right. Well, and he mentioned that to me several times.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week until then. Hope you guys had fun watching us. Alex, you got anything you want to say?
Yes. Bye. Rock on. Jerk off. I don't know. Do whatever it is you guys do.
Well said.